Welcome everybody. I'm epicdudeguy. We have a couch here and they can introduce themselves right now.
Hello, I'm Kara.
They have a mic.
Tokoloni 1.
7
And Sphere.
Alright, and this is Prince of Persia 2K8, but this is the Epilogue, which is the DLC that plays after the base game. So it's kind of its own game. It's pretty short and pretty cool, and we will start in 3, 2, 1, go. Woo. So yeah, this plays right after the base game finishes. Short recap, there's an evil guy released by the prince here, and he's trying his best to stop him / run away from it. And Alika, which is the girl you see right there on the top screen, she's our partner, but she's kind of mad at us right now for releasing the bad guy, because it's not a very nice thing to do, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot more to it, but let's keep it at that. So here's the bad guy. Oh, hold on. Still have the voice is disabled.
It's over.
Alright, there we go.
I didn't set him free. Elika, I didn't set him free.
But he did. So the combat in this game is kind of, yeah, that. Just quick time events mostly. But there's also some combos you can do, and if the game will let me, I'm gonna do one right here. So there's one particular combo that is really long and also unblockable. And the longer the combo is, the more damage it will do. So yeah, in this run I'm gonna be mainly using that one combo because it's really good.
We don't get killed down here. Are you all right to go on?
Right, so now Alika will join us again.
Great. Good. Me too.
Which is cool because she's very helpful. Now we get to the platforming of this game. There's a lot of cycle stuff that you have to... What? Why would he go the other way? Okay. Alright, that was interesting. So because of all these blobs, they would kill you if you go in them.
Well, I mean, kill is maybe the wrong word.
Well, yeah. Alright, so let's see if it works correctly this time. Oh, look.
So yeah, in this game you can't really die. The only thing, like if, for example, these blobs hit you or you fall down, Alika will save you, so you'll go back to the last safe position on the ground, such as yeah, here, for example.
So normally, if you go here quick enough, you don't have to fight this guy, but the cycle really doesn't work out. And I tried to fix it, but it didn't work. Well, I jumped a bit too early. Alright, let's not take that cycle. Here there's 2 different cycles you can take, but I kinda was slow and I missed it.
Especially these long platforming parts are kind of painful if you know, get hit or, well, die rather.
Yeah.
And you go back to the last platform, like.
Yeah, you always go back to the last, like, flat surface if you die. So, in some cases that's pretty far away. But most of the time, like, if you just do all the movement smoothly and you're on a good cycle, then the entire cycle will work out. But sometimes you have to wait midway through or do some unintended strats. So here you can see I make it in time to the to the enemy, and then I can kill him before he spawns. Because here there's not really any cycles going on, it's just pressing buttons.
Really fluent game, I have to say.
I'm enjoying these smooth 30 frames per second.
Getting out of this?
Right, so here there's kind of a platforming section that I want to skip. By going here, I can actually wall run on the wall, if I do it correctly.
Rip new method.
The angle's slightly off here.
You have time for a donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a $5 donation from 7eraser7
Go.
who says, "Why aren't you playing the real 2K? Can you do a run of the real game, please?"
Well, the real game is over 3 hours long, so no thanks. Also, it involves light seeds, which is lame. But I did, however, find a new glitch 2 days ago for this game, and also works in the base game. So maybe the base game will be better soon. Shoutouts to DrapFox for immediately going to work with the glitch. Yeah, I tried to find stuff with it in this game, or in the epilogue as well, but there was nothing.
Nothing but frustration.
Yeah, it wasn't useful because this game is pretty short and it's completely linear, which makes it harder to skip things. Whereas the base game is kind of open world-ish, and there's a lot of like individual sections where you could just skip a small thing. Like if you've played the game, there's a lot of those buttons where you do like a special power and you fly around for a really long time. A lot of the time, skipping one of those saves a lot of time. Okay, so there I just did a skip for this room. You're not supposed to be here yet, but you can get to this fight really early. And now for this kind of fight, there's also quick time events. And the gimmick here is to knock them off of the edge.
Before they kill you.
Yeah, well, you can't really die.
Ah, damn.
It's just you want them on the edge as fast as possible. Yeah, in the base game, that enemy would be the warrior, and then this is the hunter. But they're not real, as they will explain right now as I kill myself.
We'll only send more servants to stop us.
You told me they were dead.
Ahriman is creating creatures from the corruption, but he must still be weak. He's using forms he's familiar with, ones he can create easily.
So those weren't the corrupted?
They had no souls.
They had no souls. So yeah, Ahriman is the bad guy, and Ormaz is the good guy. So we're fighting for Ormaz, and Elika is also like she has Ormaz's powers, I guess, and what we have is glitches. So right here I'm gonna do a ledge teleport to the ledge I was already on, and then I can airwalk.
Together.
And I can use it there to get to the other side quickly without having to deal with the cycles, which is really nice. So yeah, I used the term ledge teleport, which you actually haven't seen yet, but we'll get to that soon. Here I do have to wait for cycles. Feels bad, man. And grind down early here before the thing in the wall, so because if you grab it, then Elika comes after you and you have to catch her, and it's really slow. And then you might have to fight this guy, which is really annoying. Right, so now we're gonna do an actual ledge teleport, which involves grabbing a ledge, which is what I did right there. And then I have to get to a ledge where I can walk on and drop off. For example, this one. And then when I go to the end and mash the drop down button, I get teleported to my last hanging location. Which is useful here because you're supposed to grind on the inside all the way down, but then you have to deal with all kinds of cycles and stuff, and it's really slow, so I just go out of bounds and grind on the outside, and then I can go straight down. Easy.
Is there a tutorial for this game?
No.
What? I'm interested.
But you can join our Discord,
Please hit
I
me up.
guess. It's probably on the forum somewhere, or the speedrun.com, I guess.
Yeah, on the series forum, actually.
Right.
Please
But
join our
there's,
Discord and ask for 16:9 widescreen patches.
Are
Yeah,
you
there's,
asking me to join your canal?
Right now there's one other runner of this. His name is Brimstone. Shoutouts to Brimstone for running this.
We're cut off. We'll have to get through that gate. This has to
You actually have to wait for Elika to grab the lever and then you can pull it. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so in this room you have to pull 3 levers to lower the corruption, but there's actually a skip that's pretty lit.
It's not lit.
Fuck.
Maybe there's some sort of temple. Somewhere we can activate the plate?
No.
Or there's another way out of here.
There is nowhere to go. Even if we escape here, there is nowhere to run to.
I can think of 100 places.
And Ahriman will follow us to all of them.
So in the base game you have to collect these light seeds to power up the plates, but here you don't have to
This isn't
because
going to end like this.
I guess you can just punch them and then they work.
There is always another way out.
And this plate, what it does, it's kind of the same as the red plate, but it also activates these temporary platforms. And yeah, then you can actually progress. But they do run out at some point. But yeah, it's extremely lenient, so it's not really a big deal. However, for the skip, it might be relevant. Well, it's not relevant, but yeah, I'll explain it a bit. So yeah, that was the first lever we pulled, but now we're gonna try to skip the other 2, which saves quite a bit of time. So I'm gonna activate this plate, and then these walls spawn. And what you can do now is actually jump in between them. They are temporary, but as long as you touch them frequently, they don't despawn. And what I can do here is something we call Elika clipping, where you press the Elika power button at the right time and then you clip through. It's not over yet. Alright, okay, we did it. So you have to clip up top and then you can reach that button, which is supposedly only after you pull the 3rd lever. But yeah, you can reach it early and then skip the other levers. And then this actually the fight still loads, or still activates, which is cool, because If you skip any cutscene in this game, you actually soft lock, because all the other cutscenes that would come afterwards, they won't play. So you can't actually trigger the final cutscene of the game that way. But luckily we didn't actually skip any cutscenes, so you can do that skip without soft locking. Because as you saw when we went down there, we were just standing around for quite a bit. We could have actually progressed, kind of like skipping this fight, but then you would soft lock. So yeah, pretty good fight so far. It's pretty easy, but sometimes if you mess up one of the quick time events, it becomes a lot slower. So
Yeah, you were telling me that they're random every time, right?
yeah, well, most of them. Like when I run at them, or when they run at me, it's random.
It's not what Armin thinks.
But when they're close to the edge, it's always just mash square. Alright, let's see if I can get this wall run. Okay, nice. So if you wall run early, you can get like the drop down before you reach the end. Just small time save. Because you can also like initiate the drop down yourself, but then you don't go as low initially.
Keep doing that. Together.
Can I make this? Alright. So you have to be kind of careful here sometimes, because the game likes to buffer your inputs. Sometimes when you hang on the ledge for a bit, then and then you want to press a direction, or you want to go somewhere, and then Elika comes on top of you, and then you have to wait, but your action is still buffered, so then the cycle becomes bad, and then you die. So it's kind of annoying. But that went pretty good. Let's look at this cycle. No, I'm gonna wait this one out. Sometimes you can go early, but there's another blob around the corner here, and that one would usually hit you. Oh, I went a bit too early. For this one, the hitbox is like really small for some reason, because you're just supposed to grind down next to it. It's kind of funny. If you would do that with most of the other ones, you would probably get hit and die. Ah, it's too slow there. It's not a big deal though. For these enemies, you just have to knock them into the wall and then they die.
You're just going to slow us down.
But obviously, you want to skip all of them.
We're going to need some help.
Alright, so now we're at the garden, and there's an airwalk here that's really inconsistent, so let's see if we get it.
You got it 3 out of 3 yesterday. Come on, man.
Well, it's not in my hands. It's RNG.
Yes, sure. Blame the game.
So I'm gonna set it up on this side. Well. And then I have to jump to that point of the ledge. Oh, first try.
Yeah, let's
Let's go.
go easy.
Nice.
Whatever.
I told you, man. God game.
Basically world record.
How much time does it save over the other skip?
Like over 20 seconds.
Nice.
But now I have to do some kind of tricky movement here. To actually get up top. Okay, that's good. Because the prince likes to auto-target those rings. But if he does, you actually just drop down. Oh, well, that wasn't gonna make it. So yeah, the strat for... Wow, can you jump in the direction I'm jumping? To jump a bit earlier. Yeah, the strat for this... the other strat is you have to move the big boxes that I just wall run on, kind of. You have to move them twice to be able to press, to pull 3 of the levers, or all of the levers. But with this strat, you just wall run to the first one, and that means you don't have to move the boxes at all, which saves quite a bit of time. So now we're at the second lever, and then the third lever is pretty close to here, and the developers tried really hard so that you couldn't reach it from there, but they didn't try hard enough, so we can actually just skip straight to it. And that's all the levers pulled, and now we can go back to the middle again and go on. And now if you're wondering, why didn't you just airwalk from this beam all the way to the end? It actually doesn't load the fight that way. You might have just seen it lag for a bit when I jumped to the first pillar. Well, I think it loads it there. So yeah, this fight that comes here wouldn't play, and you cannot progress. Kinda sad.
Araman seeks you.
He can seek her, but he's not going to get her.
It is you he seeks. State your wish.
I want world record. So he's gonna charge at me here, and I'm gonna move a bit to the side. Because with my combo, actually swap places with him and create quite some distance. And if I wouldn't move a bit, I would knock him into the wall, and then you have to do like this standard attack that you would always get if you knock him into the wall, even though he's dead already, which is quite slow, so avoiding it that way saves time.
Let's get out of here.
Why don't you take
Also shoutouts to Samabem, who hooked me up with that combo. It's pretty damn good.
See if you were right about the path forward.
He's the runner of the base game. Well, world record holder even.
Well, not of any percent anymore, but of all seats. Percent.
We must use the plates.
And I was going to
Right.
say we should just hold hands and
Guess I'm not up to date on the record.
Yeah, VPOP got it
of
like
this
a few
game?
months ago.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe he will get it back soon with the new glitch. So yeah, this is the green button mechanic. It's basically an auto-scroller. But you can still easily die if you walk into one of those obstructions.
ready for some running.
Well, if you're wondering, by the way, why the game looks so different from the Sans trilogy, that's because this one was released like 3 years after Two Thrones, I think, in 2008.
Yeah.
And it runs on the prototype of the Anvil engine that Assassin's Creed runs on. So they tried to reboot this series and figured out it doesn't really work out. So then they created their new milking cow in AC.
Yeah, it does look quite different, but I think it's kind of cool. Okay, I was unlucky. So you either get to run at them or they get to run at you. And you running at them is a lot faster. So whenever they run at you, that's bad RNG. For the hunter, like for this guy, it's actually not that bad because you can just throw him and that creates a lot of distance. But with the warrior, the first guy, you actually can't throw him, so you have to use a lot of attacks. So yeah, last bit of this thing, I guess, and then more cutscenes.
I have a small donation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we have an anonymous donation of $5 that says, "Happy Easter to you all. Greetings from Holland."
Hey, I'm
Greetings
from Holland as well. Greetings from Germany to Holland.
He refused to be buried in the city. He felt shame for allowing the city to fall. He was laid to rest in secret. Pilgrims found his tomb. They built this.
And we should hope it is an omen. Ahriman can be stopped. But Princess, if I die in the cause, cremate me. These places give me the creeps.
How could you die in this game? It's impossible. Alright, so here's a
There! The wall is tilting.
kind of a boring puzzle. You basically do the same mechanic 3 times.
That sounds exciting.
Because that's fun, I guess.
You might be recognizing Prince's voice, by the way, because he's voiced by Nolan North, who also starred in Uncharted or The Last of Us as a couple of examples.
Yeah, the voice acting in this game is really good, but there's only like 3 different voices that you have in this game and in the base game. It's kind of funny. Only realized that the other day because in the credits it says like voices and then there's just 3 names. Ah. If you pull it too early, then Elika isn't technically there yet, even though she is. And that's annoying. So I've been trying really hard to find a skip for this room, but sadly no luck yet.
Maybe with a new glitch? Oh wait.
Little jump there to cancel my falling animation on my hard landing. Nice 360. Yep.
Let's see what this does.
So yeah, this is the last part. Last platforms that I have to move. That was fun. Also, running around, we're all running on round walls is
Like on outwards
interesting.
curved. So
Yeah,
greatest thing.
very
since
interesting
T
to
to
say
T.
the least. But on the other hand, you're also literally flying, so I guess anything is possible. So here I'm just gonna let the wall run out so I get more down. And then another fight. Actually, every instance of these kind of fights, the bad guy gets more health. So here I have to do the combo twice, actually. Because he has so much more health. Which does mean that I can't really get around him knocking him into the wall. Because, yeah, that's the animation I was avoiding earlier. Actually, I should have moved. I might get it again here. Yeah, okay. Rip. I mean, it's only a couple seconds.
Nice concussion, dude.
Yeah, Prince really likes to give out the headbutts.
You always talk of power, and you always run away. We are getting out of here. Let's get out of here before he comes back.
Alright, so gameplay intensifies right here. And by that, I mean the opposite. Because we're just gonna airwalk to skip all the platforming. Now I have to count to 38.
We're getting close. We are almost through this place.
Alright, we made it.
Those not so quick moths.
Another of those.
For the light.
Okay, that was really good that I was able to run at him, because here you're really far away from him. Nice loading. Okay, perfect fight. I have to wait here for a bit, because if I go too early I actually get teleported back all the way to the start of the room for some reason. Alright, tiny skip right here. It's pretty close, but easy. And then we go on to the final boss.
Wait, final boss? Still have 16 minutes left in the estimate.
Well, it takes quite some time, and then you have to do some more platforming. Monk ass. Okay, this part can be quite troll. Okay, never mind.
You cannot fight him alone.
Yep, the headbutts. It's kind of his special move. Also, Alika's just standing there like, yeah, whatever. Okay, so now I want to swap sides with him, and then I have to get lucky. Okay. Kind of have to wait out what he does, because sometimes when you attack, he also attacks, and then that keeps going for a while, and you can't do anything. But that was good. Oh, almost pressed the wrong button. You just said that. And uppercut. Yeah, that is her father, actually. No, didn't. Don't know if I said that. But there you go. Oops. So final boss dead. Or is he?
We have a $5 anonymous donation that says, "That guy again."
Hey, Volley, thanks.
Called out.
Exposed.
Guess it's not anonymous anymore. I guess I lied when I said it was the last of the green plates, because there's more here. Whoops. Uh-oh.
Don't play fair, do they?
I guess we'll better run. No chance. So here they kind of redo the gimmick that you have in the base game at the end. Because this is reused assets of the game. I mean, kind of makes sense because it's DLC, but it's a lot of the same stuff.
Keep going!
Alright, just need to not die. Not press the wrong button.
Has that happened before?
No?
Oh, okay. Cool.
I totally didn't lose a run one time to not pressing the last button of the game. Because I was having my hand ready to split. Classic speedrunner mistake. So almost at the end here. Not Wildraki, sadly. But pretty good run nonetheless. So now I just have to press triangle until the game's over.
Let's keep this going!
Yeah, what's world record? Like 37 or something?
Time is right now. Okay. Sub 40 is pretty good. Was a good run.
If I couldn't stop
Happy that I could show it off. It's kind of a
free and he will only grow
meme game, but it has some cool tricks, and yeah, there's a lot of routing that went into this, so it's cool to show that off. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, that's it for me for this marathon. Well, actually, you'll see me on the couch for a couple of hours, so. Yeah, have fun watching the upcoming runs.